Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite editing apps when it comes to pictures. I know editing is a thing that's a little too much for some people, not enough for some people, but I feel like it's all preference.
Do what you want with your picture.
I'm going to be doing a little screen recording and then talking briefly about the apps I use, why I use them, process of editing, and all that jazz. So if you'd like to keep on watching, let's do this. Alright guys, so to make this process easier, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a picture, just take you through my journey and the exact things that I always do when it comes to editing. That way I can just go ahead and talk through the apps while I'm editing, and then it's the same picture, you guys kind of see the difference as to what it makes and stuff. To you guys about Unum, Unum is not an editing app. I just like it so I could plan out my feed and, you know, make sure that everything is flowing and same colors and see what picture goes, or if it doesn't, if I need to edit it a different way and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and choose a picture first. I'm gonna go ahead and screen record. Hopefully it screen records most of the editing, and if it doesn't, I'll just go ahead and talk about it. The first app that I go into is always Facetune. I know Facetune can be very controversial, but I like it personally because I like my feed to be nice and bright. I like to widen out the backgrounds. I like to detail certain things in my pictures. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I use Facetune. We are opening up Facetune. So first thing I go ahead and do is I'm probably gonna go into my favorites and then just kind of choose a picture. Alright, so as you guys can see in this picture, like the thing that bothers me is that there's so many different colors going on, and it's just like I just don't like it. So the first thing that I would go ahead and do is zoom in. I like the smoothing part too. My neck, zoom into my face. Whenever I close my mouth when I'm like this, you see how it wrinkles up right here? I hate that. So I'm gonna go ahead, just lightly tab and smooth. Then I'm gonna go ahead with the detailing and just kind of tap on my eyes, make them, you know, can't do nothing about the wrinkles under my eyes. That's just how I am. Oh, forgot. Detail your necklace. So if you guys can see, it's like a very slight change. Once I have that detailed, I go ahead and start widening slightly. So you guys can see that it's a difference. I just like when my backgrounds are very white. I don't know, that's just how I like it to look. After I go ahead and do that, I like to go ahead, let's save this. And the next thing that I go into is Lightroom. That's only if my picture is very dark and I want to lighten it up a little bit. That's usually what I use Lightroom for. I don't have no preloaded presets on there or anything like that. So I usually just like going and up a picture if it needs to. So for example, the lighting is really good in this picture, so I wouldn't need to do that. But let me just go ahead and show you guys. So for Lightroom, let's say this picture was dark. Let me screen record. The little tab that says light. And then I'm gonna go ahead and click on curve. There's like a straight line on there. So what I like doing is you basically just like, if you raise it up, it lightens it up and you guys can see the difference. So before, after, it just makes it lighter, darker, lighter, you know, all that stuff. So that's what I use it for. In this case, I probably wouldn't use Lightroom. I just feel like the picture looks nice. It's like a nice natural lighting, so there's no reason why I would go into Lightroom. Alrighty guys, so the next app that I would usually go into for editing would either be VSCO or Tezza. It just kind of, I feel like it's just the vibe that I'm going for. VSCO, it's a free app I believe, and then it comes with a bunch of free filters, but I know if you want to go ahead and buy more, you definitely can do that. But it comes with really cool filters already for free. Tezza, I believe you do have to pay to get more filters on there. Go ahead and get you guys into VSCO first. Screen record. When I'm using VSCO, I like using A4. Usually tone it down so it could look natural. I don't like my pictures to look like a color that I really don't look like. So I would use like an A4 around, yeah, like a 4.4. Then I go ahead, lessen the exposure, contrast. Maybe no contrast on this picture. And then I usually just saturate them a little bit so I could get like a slight tan in my pictures. And I feel like this is all I would do probably for this picture, honestly. If you want to add the grain, it has grain too. I think grain looks super cute in certain pictures, but let's not do that. So that's how it would look. Let me save this. So the other one that I like using is A6. So maybe I would do an A6 at like 4.3. Let's save that one too. Go back. So I like using A4, A6, and that's pretty much it. There was a time where I would use C3 too, but it's not my cup of tea anymore. I don't have an exact number on them, like when I go down on the brightness or contrast. I just literally look at it and then just kind of see what kind of go with my feed, so I go off that. So the other app that I definitely been using for the longest time, maybe about 3 months or so, I constantly use just because it's so easy, is the Tezza app. I love it just because it already has a lot of preloaded filters on there, work perfect for me. So let me go ahead and show you guys. It's also free. Like I mentioned, it has a bunch of filters on there, and there's some that you can purchase, but it's just so easy. It even has a dust effect on there too. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys everything from Tezza. All right, my go-to for Tezza is always vintage. If you guys can see right here, I look super duper tan, so I normally like to turn it down a little bit, make a slight difference, and then I mess around with exposure. If I want it dark, if I want it darker or a little bit more brighter, we'll do that. Mess with the shadows a little bit, highlights, saturate it, maybe saturation maybe about 1. See how I see the difference? And then I love the grain on Tezza. I just feel like it's very cute. And like I mentioned, you can go ahead and it has like the dust on here too. Move it around here in your picture as well. So let's say I were to use a dust. Let's go ahead and save that. So another one that I like using for Tezza is the glow one. I just feel like it makes the picture so much brighter. I normally like to saturate that one a little bit, but you see it's just like a slight. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for my filters. It's either VSCO or Tezza. Whoa there. Usually when I'm done editing with my filters, I like going back into Unum and checking to see which filter is going to work best with the feed that I already have going on. Tezza is more, I want to say, a little bit more filtered. It kind of tends to give you that tan look. Usually the vintage filter is the one that I use for that, and the other one was the glow one, which is just gives your picture more of a brighter look. When it comes to VSCO, I feel like those are more natural looking. If you use A4, it's more of a brown tone, I feel. And then A6 is just more of a natural look, which is what I really like as well. So either or with those apps, we're just gonna see which one works with our current feed. Yes, this was A4. So that's A4. I feel like it's not, it looks kind of too white, so I'm gonna go ahead and check the other one. I feel like this one could work. I believe this was the A6 one. You guys what Tezza looks like. Tezza. So this is the one that we put a little bit of dust to it, and you see how I already have like more of a warmer, I like kind of tan in some of my pictures. Like if you were to see this one that we did with glow, which gives it more of like a glow look, brighter, makes your pictures brighter. This one could work too. But I honestly feel that I would still go with the Tezza one, the vintage filter. So let me go ahead and show you guys how that looks. And then this is a picture. So Tezza for the win on this one. So the next app that we're going to talk about is Retouch. So I like Retouch because it's a game changer. Let's say my bra strap was hanging out or there was something in the background that I didn't like. Retouch is exactly the name of it. It's retouching whatever it is that you don't like in your picture. So what you can do is it makes that disappear. So let's say my bra strap is showing and then I just go over it with the little brush and then it takes it off. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool app. I believe that I did have to pay for this one, but it's totally worth it just because, like I said, it just makes your pictures so much better. So let's go ahead and screen record right here, and then I'm going to give you guys a little example. Let's say that I didn't want the necklace anymore. Maybe this one's like a little tough, but let's say I didn't want a necklace. I'm just going to go over it. Boom. You just have to be very careful as to how you do it because you don't want to look deformed. You can see necklace, no necklace, necklace, no necklace. Super crazy, right? But such a good tool. And that's pretty much it when it comes to pictures. What I like using to edit, I like going into Lightroom if my picture is too dark and I need to fix the lighting. I like using, I showed you guys Facetune. I usually like to detail any jewelry that I have, my eyes, smoothen up little things that I have on my face. If I want to go ahead and whiten up my background, I usually use that for that. Then I showed you guys how I either go into Tezza or VSCO and kind of look at which filter works with my feed. I don't have a set saturation, brightness, contrast number, anything like that. I like to just mess with it. Then I go into Unum and I like going in there and testing out which filter works best with my picture. The vintage one looked the best when it comes to flowing with my feed, the colors and everything. So that's why I went with that one. So that's pretty much my process when it comes to editing a picture. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty much it. These are just my go-to apps and I thought I would share with you guys because it's something that I get asked multiple times, as I mentioned in my previous video. Don't forget to follow me in between uploads because that's where you guys will see how my editing changes when it comes to filters or even stories, the different ways that I put my stories, how I arrange them. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Ciao, adios, besos, mwah. My camera is completely about to die.